It's the after show. And on the after show, we're going to have the chats about what happened in this week's episode of Not So Christian Brothers. A reminder, like, subscribe, follow, share the episode if you enjoy it. It's really important to us. We're on YouTube. We're obviously video on Spotify. And it all matters and it all counts. My God, so much that we talked about this week, lads,
Yeah,
or you guys talked about.
It went quite everywhere, really, didn't it? We started with the voices in the head. Well, we started with Jim Gavin.
Yes.
Then the voices in the head, and then sort of, I suppose I need to stop maybe bringing it always back to me.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the Not So Christian Brothers.
But at the moment, that's sort of the way it is.
Well, no, but that's always how it's been.
It's not always. There's occasions.
Was there a time? Was that probably just before you were born? Then it was about our other siblings.
The second episode, yeah.
I wrote loads of stuff down.
Okay. What have you got?
Is that weird?
No, it's absolutely not.
Firstly, I wrote down, and I don't know why, but have you heard the new Taylor Swift album, Showgirl? Every single song, she does an intro into it.
Right.
Where she describes it. So you don't really get a chance to have your own idea of what the song's about. So I felt like that was an intrusive thought. She's like, this is a song is about like social media. Anyway, I was thinking about that every time you spoke.
Apparently Swifties are not down with the new album.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Apparently it's quite, for young Swifties, there's very rude bits.
Oh, it's really kinky. There's a lot about her happy sex. I'm happy for her. I think she's getting some.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wrote TV making you anxious in your chats about Alex. It's really interesting about what you're consuming because you're saying what you're eating, who you're spending time with and all of that, your medias. I would be the same if I'm watching something really dark about kidnappings or really awful things that happens. Like Wayward was kind of making me not sleep. So that was just an observation.
Oh, is that good?
No, it was all right. I don't think I think it goes a bit there.
Okay.
And then you're kind of going, I'll watch the last episode just to get it out of my life.
Okay.
Oh,
So would you?
That's
is it
interesting.
worth me watching.
I think it's a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Black Rabbit is a 9 out of 10, boys.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going.
Really is. Now it is a bit dark, and it's funny. There's you can't avoid death in anything now, right? You know what I mean? Whatever show you're watching, somebody's going to die, or somebody's going to be killed, or somebody's going to have cancer. It just happens, and it becomes when it happens, it's a bit louder. But you just look, that's going to happen.
So to explain, to caveat that with, Colm has recently lost his wife,
Yeah.
Anne, and that's why we're saying a lot of things that he's consuming when there's death in it. Is it triggering or is it? And like I loved in the episode you speaking about the bed. Some people would say, get rid of that massive bed that you had that reminds you of Anne. And initially you were thinking that. Now you're like, well, it's comforting because it reminds me of
I
Anne.
know.
But
I know.
there was so many interesting things about intrusive thoughts. The other thing was how you say some people after death are encouraged to shut up house or shut up shop or shut the curtains for a month. Do you know that when, as a woman, very old-fashioned midwifery, they would encourage a woman who's just had a baby to close the curtains for 4 to 8 weeks.
8 weeks? Why? Why? The baby's ugly. If the baby's ugly.
Oh, no, to kind of like have that postpartum period and shut up the house, not go out, don't make sure the baby isn't meeting people or getting sick. It was really old-fashioned Irish, stay in your bed, breastfeed, bond with the baby. It's so interesting how we were talking about life mirroring, birth mirroring, marriage and mirroring. That was an interesting observation. My other observation was you were talking about...
Can we take a breath in a minute?
No, because I have 5 things written down. Survival. About how we wake up when we're surviving. But question to you, Justin. Can't survival be happiness? Like you were saying, like we're all just ticking along. There's some minor moments of, I think the quote was, and I have it and I'm going to tattoo it onto my asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Life is a series of unrelenting unhappiness and a series of happy.
No.
Go on.
Unrelenting unhappiness. Life is a series of unrelenting challenge.
Yeah.
Peppered by happiness. Like life, it's not unhappiness.
No.
But getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, getting into the shower, getting into the car, making your coffee. These are not happiness. Like, so if we're trying to create, the vibe of happiness, you're setting yourself up for anxiety. And I think the practicalities of life are important. Like it's funny when you say about, shutting yourself off after the baby's born. I always remember when Luca was born, he was born with like cleft lip and palate. And I remember when he was born, we had this baby who looked really different to everybody else's kids, right? Like his nose was squashed over to one side, he had a massive hole in his face. And I remember like the second day we had him and just taking him out and going, still really proud of him and us and having a baby. And I think everything that you think in life that's difficult that you choose to step away from creates anxiety. The best thing to do is to step into it and move through it,
Yeah.
because otherwise you've got all the intrusive thoughts. And I, again, I reflect back on my wife through that, and she was phenomenal. But I always think when we stop and overthink, we create problems.
So you're saying clear the path by taking it head on. Like you're kind of saying it's the constantly, like the intrusive thoughts that are there and then the analysis and all of that. If we're not facing that, like writing it down and then taking on that challenge, it never really leaves us. Kind of.
Correct. My view always is, move to take action. Like, why deliberate? Move to take action. Well, oh, I'm worried about this. Do it. Move on.
I honestly believe in this day and age, especially for younger people or people who are using social media a lot. I honestly believe we actually, if you say to somebody, "Are you happy?" I don't believe people know what happiness is anymore.
No.
And
Oh,
and
wow.
and I think that they define happiness by other people, not themselves. So they're going, "I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy." Oh my God, look at that guy on social media in Dubai driving a Porsche. I'm so unhappy. I'm not in Dubai driving a Porsche. I'm happy, I'm happy, happy. Oh my God, look at the weight of that model. She looks absolutely fantastic in that bikini. So we're never defining our happiness within our own brain, which is where we should define happiness. We're defining happiness by looking at other people.
But hang on, is
And
that not
there's-
envy and comparison, not unhappiness?
I think it used to be envy. I honestly believe now it's happiness. I believe that's the way we define it. That's the way we look at it. It's almost like if we find somebody that possibly is having a little bit more strife than us in life, it could be on TikTok or Instagram, we're actually going, hey, yeah. It's like that Schadenfreude thing. It's like, yeah, I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. Because I seen that guy and he's falling over drunk all the time. I'm okay. I think that's why we doom scroll looking for people who really make us angry because we go, you're such an angry
I
person.
think we're more realistic like than that, Colin, because we'll see the guy in the car in Dubai or the one with the amazing figure, but we've also been there, right? You've had maybe pre-kids, you had the body that you thought was
No,
the body or the.
I'm saying more younger people. I'm saying people.
Okay,
I'm saying
sorry.
people who are coming up and they're definitely.
Okay.
There's millions of people in Ireland, millions of kids in Ireland who know life, who don't know life without
Okay, yeah,
a phone
fair enough,
or
yeah, yeah.
Instagram, and that becomes their level, or as in they find their levels, which are wrong. But they're sort of going, well, if I don't have this, or I don't look like that, or I'm not like this, then I'm not happy. But what I'm saying is they're defining their happiness from outside of themselves. And I think you find your happiness inside and then you push it out. But
Yes.
so you're inside out, they're
So-
outside in.
Happiness is an inside job.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so for me, I don't like happiness. I think contented.
You don't like happiness.
No, the word. I think the word, right?
Why?
The word is a miss, because look, well, I'd say probably have a happy conversation, the happiness conversation with clients I've had 500 times in 8 years. If you're trying to find happiness,
Mm.
you're doing it because you've been sold what it should look like.
Yes, I agree.
Happiness is a feeling internally, and for me, it is the ability to sit in this room with you guys and be part of this conversation, knowing how much chaotic stuff happened to me before I came in, but I can park that and go, I'm here. So it's the ability to be present to your life, to be awake to what's actually happening around you, and
Yes.
to go, wow, this is a great moment, and I'm happy to be here with you. I love being with you. I love being part of this journey. And when it becomes externalized,
Hmm.
you're not present to your life anymore.
I think they're right there. You're absolutely, the ability to be present in your life will define your happiness or your sadness or your melancholy or your contentment. But so many people do not have the ability. They feel they have the ability to see what happiness is like in somebody else's life and then try to mirror it. And that's you're on the way down then.
Can we all have different perspectives on happiness? Because I love. Also, I know you feel deeply happy in my company, those columns.
Yes.
I love how your perspective is that it's not always there, and that's okay, and we're all chasing it. But when you feel content where something is going well and it's not all the chaos and the stressful survival stuff. That's great. And you sit in that and that's great. And you know that this will be, what did someone say once? Happiness is the thing that you're in that is really feeling really good. Stop chasing it because then it will end. So it's like a journey. I'm a big big believer in happiness and positivity. And I don't mean the happy clappy, get the consume, but I really care about feeling joy. And I care about it because I think there was a lot of loneliness in my childhood and in previous parts of my life. And so now I'm like, I really care about taking as much crack and good and fun. It doesn't mean that the brushing of the teeth, the shower, the paying of the bills, the minding children all of the time is the crack, but it's certainly something I really appreciate when I'm in it.
I think,
So
yeah,
it's three different.
yeah, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
But you're appreciating it from your point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the time, like it's that conversation, Colm, we've had about excitement that, you know, can seem a bit naive. And I've said sometimes to Colm, Justin, and also could be an age thing where I've kind of come at something. I'm like, I'm so excited about that, or the podcast, or coming into the show, or even just a dinner with you guys. And Colm will go, excited. And it's a naive word, but I'm genuinely feel sick with excitement. And maybe it's just the actual thought of it. And then I get in it and it's just flat, but that's okay. But I think I get excited about things.
But there you go. The
Yeah.
thought of it, and then you get flat. So my point is, if we're present,
No,
to
not
our
always. Not
experiences-
always. But I'm just saying sometimes the expectation, it's exciting to be in that. I'm not saying it's always shit in the afternoon.
No, I know, but I think it's that idea of high levels of expectation. That's future living, right? Whereas if you're like moving into being part of whatever's going on, you're in it. So if I build up an idea of what this is going to be today in this conversation, and it doesn't then turn out to be as great as I want it to be, I'm going to be disappointed. Whereas if I just participate, the outcome is the outcome, and it's easier.
I think it's
Yeah.
like, you know, sometimes you're sitting down, like last weekend, we were away and we were sitting down having dinner. We were mucking around making pizzas in an oven or whatever. And we sat down, I was drinking a glass of wine and whatever. And then, and so much had gone on before, obviously, with that. And then just something went, this is good. This is nice. I'm now sort of happy. You know what I mean? We're slagging each other. I'm drinking wine, you know, pizza's in the oven. Now, just right at this single moment, this is good. And it wasn't created by looking at something, or it wasn't created by me being, hey, let's be like that crazy family in the sitcom that all sit around and have the pizza, you know? It just sort of fell onto the table. Everyone fell onto the table, the bits, the conversations, and then it just landed where I was able to go, yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm sort of happy now at this moment in time. And then I felt guilty.
I was literally just about to say, I really hope you didn't have remorse or guilt that Anne wasn't there and that you were being happy.
But I think it's an inside job, and it's just
an inside job, Gov.
Magical when everybody else is feeling it at the same time.
Yeah.
It's rare, right? But when suddenly you have that moment where you guys probably have a glance at each other, there's a bit of food being shared, and you have a moment, and then it's like, boom,
yeah,
there you go,
yeah, that's it, yeah. It's that's and you can sustain the rest of the night from that.
Without taking from your grief. Do most people not have the guilt? And you have this, Justin. So you're feeling guilty about a human being that should be there, Colm, ordinarily, right? But say if you were separated, would you feel guilt anyway? Say if you're just someone who hasn't lost someone recently. I sometimes feel guilt when this is bizarre, when I'm giving my kids dinner and everything's vibing and no one's pissing and moaning about the food. I do a Gaza thing. I know you're going to think I have huge amount of intrusive thoughts, and I definitely do. But I will just go, oh my God, there's children in Gaza who aren't eating. And then I go there and I have to get back into the moment of, oh my God, we're enjoying a nice meal. Like, you don't need to always feel guilty or think about the others or think about, like, I know it's not the same thing, but
it's not. But but that's the Putin thought.
Yeah,
that I had on Thursday. So that is, yeah. I mean, listen, we doom scroll and we flick and we see there is this amazing girl. She's about 13 or 14. I don't know if you've seen her on Instagram. She's in Gaza, and the backdrop is Gaza flattened, right? And then beside her is her tent that she's living in now. But obviously a clever little intelligent girl. And she does Palestinian recipes on stone, like bricks that have been fallen down from buildings. And she was doing it with olives the other day. And she's shown how they pickle olives in Palestine. and she got another brick. Now, obviously, in her kitchen, her mum's kitchen, 2, 3, 4 years ago, they had all the implements, but she was using another brick to bash the olives and to put into a jar that looked like she'd found in a dump. But what I couldn't take my eyes off was her happiness.
Mm.
Was the eyes, her eyes, and her, because obviously it was like for that 3 moments, maybe it was her dad filming her or whatever, she was completely out of it. She was talking to the rest of the world, where she presumed the rest of the world is hoping that she is okay and that there's another world, that things are going to be okay. And you could see in her eyes, she's lifted from that moment. And then she finishes, and in Palestinian she says, another recipe next week. And you think, will there be? You
Oh.
know?
Yeah.
But
But
it's a really great piece.
But I think like that, when you see her, and I doubt how much she suffered, uh, to me, I think of the most insufferable times of my life as
Mm.
just huge blessings. It's like I've seen the darkest reality. Like I still think sometimes that, well, maybe Luca could die, or maybe Beatrice will die, because when you get close to death, it comes back around
yeah.
again. And I'm sure when you're in Palestine, you've seen all that, you're back in. But you have to still find the stuff that just gives you joy.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And it really is. But also, you get to a point of knowing, well, okay, I've seen how dark and how horrendous life can be. Nothing else can be that bad.
Mm. And also, I think there's a great resilience in youth.
Totally.
I absolutely, like, that couldn't have been a 50-year-old man who'd lost his 2 children and his wife. She may well have lost her brother or mother. I don't know her backstory, but you could see the resilience. Like, I am going to show you how to pickle, olives, and you can nearly hear the war behind her, and it's like, wow.
I disagree with you. I do think it could be a 50-year-old man who's lost everything. And there's so many stories of people who have done that. And interestingly enough, anybody who watches your social media, you posted an interview with Mel Robbins and James.
Mad for Mel. English? No.
So James, my God.
Yes, yeah.
He wrote a book called Into the Magic Shop, or Enter the Magic Shop, which is a phenomenal book to read, especially right now for you. And he talks about just having the most horrendous childhood and experience, and going into a magic shop one day, wanting to buy a magic trick, and meeting this woman who recognized this kid was going through something pretty horrendous. Right. And the magic trick that she gave him was a breathing exercise to use for 5 minutes every day. And he built that up over time to learn how to meditate and to be mindful. And he's now the head of psychology in Harvard. He is the head of the endowment fund for the Dalai Lama. He's a phenomenally interesting person in terms of his neuroscience. But the key principle for him and happiness is how that woman taught him as an 11-year-old kid to just breathe in the difficulty of life that he was facing. And most people forget to just realize, if you take a breath and slow it down, it can be a bit better.
Yeah. Not a great magic trick, though.
Me-
No, sorry, shut up. I want the one with the rabbit.
Well, I had a boss who used to always tell me to do a box.
I know how to breathe. Over there.
I had a boss who used to always encourage box breathing, because he was like, it's so good for our, I suppose, the nervous system when people get head up in meetings, or for even imagination creation. Like, he was just like, everyone box breathe. Which isn't always ideal, because sometimes when you're breathing a lot, you can smell a lot in the room.
Oh, jeez, okay.
I find that
It
in
depends who you
boardrooms
work
with 10 or 12 men, I'd be like,
Yeah.
breathing. Wow.
Yeah.
David's intense. Can I just say, when you're doing something that you love, or even if it's not love, but it's passion or interest, like podcasting or on air column or reading or whatever, other creations, do you not find there are less intrusive thoughts when you're in those moments?
Yeah. I think when you're creating that, they're not, the thoughts aren't intrusive. They're all sort of helping, There's a team of writers there, or when you're watching something. Now, I think the intrusive thoughts come when the world has gone silent,
My intrusive thought right now is telling me that we're way over time.
Yeah.
That's just a thought. It's not intrusive.
It's highly intrusive.
Anyway.
Yeah. Are we over time?
We're 21 minutes.
Oh.
It is, we're 19 minutes into recording. So I think I think we nailed it there, right?
That was really good.
Yeah.
What did
I'll
we,
tell
what,
you.
what did we try
You
and
gave me
talk
the name of that magic shop. I want that.
Yeah.
And also, like Colm said something about everything's different now. It's not going to be better or good. And didn't Gwyneth Paltrow always say when her dad died, she was in a new club. Like everything was different.
I read about Gwyneth Paltrow losing her dad. My God.
Yeah, that's a really good
It
read.
took her 12 years to
And
get
Mel Robbins' Let Them theory. Okay, great.
Shall we do-
Aftershow.
here we go,
Go on,
here
go
we
on.
go.
Ah.
Let me find the name of that book, right? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who wants
No, I like the sound of that.
anybody who wants it. So he is the head of neuroscience in Stanford University.
Okay.
He's an incredible man, and the book is called Into the Magic Shop, and his name is James Doty,
That's
D-O-T-Y. And I've met him twice. He is the nicest, kindest human being you'll ever meet, and that book is just mind blowing. Anybody who wants it to just chill out, listen to the audiobook as he
Oh, I
reads it.
think that's what I'll do.
It's fab.
I think that I go for the audiobook.
It's a very calm voice as well.
Okay. So people should be liking and subscribing, and I get this all wrong all the time.
Follow us and-
Clicking and click
and,
follows.
Yeah.
Stopping us on the street.
Stop us in the street, tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah. And if you don't know, Not So Christian Brothers, we are actually brothers. Colm Hayes, Justin Caffrey, different names, but we are brothers.
Yes.
Just in case some people stop me going, you don't look like a Christian brother.
And I know I look like them, but I'm not a brother or sister. That's Not So Christian Brothers, the after show. We'll be back on Thursday with a brand new episode.